Hello and welcome. Today's project is all about depersonalization and understanding this overwhelming anxiety response that keeps people confused and bewildered and left with no answers. And what I want to talk about today is what is the solution to this response? When I used to suffer from depersonalization, I didn't even know what it was. I just thought I was going crazy, that I was unique with this strange illness, and I was never going to get out of it, right? But I'm here to talk about depersonalization, and people all the time, clients tell me they are relieved when they hear me talk about things like this because it provides them with answers, right? They're not so confused anymore. They just need to now focus on how do you work with this system to lessen its effects, right? So when I used to suffer from depersonalization, and I overcame health anxiety, depersonalization naturally, no coping, no medications, just through the techniques that I describe on my channel. When I suffered from this thing, I would feel detached from my body, like I was seeing myself in third person. I would feel automated. I was unable to control my actions, the words that were coming out of my mouth. When I would walk, it felt like the earth was tilting from under me. I couldn't walk properly. I couldn't get a grip over the things around me. Shallow depth of field, hyperventilation, racing mind, almost like a fog, a thick fog. And it was quite overwhelming, to say the least. And I remember a moment when I was jaywalking and I was suffering from depersonalization. I was looking down towards the ground, towards my feet, and a car just went right past me. I didn't even realize it. I didn't even know that the car was coming. And I look back and I'm like, wow, I almost got hit. But why am I not emotionally distraught that I almost got hit? And that's because I was just emotionally numb. And that made me even more confused. Like, where are my emotions? And so in this video, I want to talk about the solution to lessening these awful feelings. So stick around because that's coming later on. But it's also important that I express to you this system, why you're feeling this way. And so the first thing that I want to talk about is why fighting and trying to gain control over how you're feeling is the wrong approach. It's not a good approach, because what happens when you try and gain control? It doesn't work. And then what happens? You get frustrated. And why is getting frustrated a bad thing? Well, it further facilitates your anxiety because you're not getting the results you're hoping for, and this angers you. No kidding, right? And why this is not a good approach is because anger, frustration only fuels your already active anxiety system that is originally initiating depersonalization. Now, to understand the anxiety system, we have to understand the amygdala. This is our unconscious ancient alarm bell. It detects danger and initiates the fight, flight, or freeze response. It has to work unconsciously so that we can appropriately react to the danger to live. We got bit by snakes, bugs, predatory animals for hundreds of thousands of years. So it evolved to work unconsciously, because if you jump, so you see something in the grass and you jump back, and then you recognize, oh, that's a A stick, that's not a snake. You thought it was a snake. Your unconscious system detected snake-like shape in the grass, and it jumped back unconsciously without any conscious thought, right? And then you say, hey, that's just a stick. Well, it's better to do that than to not jump back and then think stick, snake before anything else, right? Because if you do that, you're going to get bit, and that's not a good thing, right? That's why sometimes when you're walking around your house at night and you jump back from a shadow, well, your unconscious system thought unknown object like predatory thing in the corner of your house, I have to react, right? That's not supposed to be there. Oh, but then afterwards, oh, it's just the coat rack. It's just the coat. It's just the snowman statue there, right? And yeah, and it's a good thing that we have that system so that we can continue to live, right? And so the reason why I'm telling you this is because you're feeling this depersonalization, your amygdala is active. Your stress response is active. It has perceived a danger in your past, and it works by associations. So you had a panic attack in one situation at the mall, and then you go into another situation that resembles the mall, and your amygdala connects the two. It says, hey, remember what happened in a situation like this before? You almost died. It was painful. Let's not be here. And so you get the same feelings. And so the amygdala is the emotional part of the brain. It's where emotional memories are formed. Positive, but also negative, right? So because this is unconscious, because the amygdala has longer lasting memory, it's hard to formulate what is really happening. There's no perceived lion, there's no obvious burglar. You're just reacting with strong negative emotion, right? And that's because your amygdala has stored these associations in the past. This object, this person, this situation caused you some sort of pain, negative emotion, and you come into contact with a similar object or maybe the same person or the same kind of situation, and your amygdala immediately shoots off, and you can't rationally understand what's going on. You're just feeling this ancient structure operating, but you can use your more thinking brain, your cortex, to speak to the amygdala, and that's really cool. You can rationalize the situation, rationalize the sensations, so that you can say, hey, calm down, amygdala. Calm down. No need to overreact here. I got this, right? And so let's talk about that. But before I do, there's actually one other thing. Your depersonalization could be caused, right, from a really big traumatic moment, and you're stuck in PTSD. And PTSD is not a fun place to be, because what's happening is your structure, your fear response is trying to comprehend what happened during that trauma, right? What happened there? And it's trying to formulate, it's trying to understand. You keep reliving the trauma because your structure, your ancient system is trying to understand really how you got into that situation and how not to get into a situation like that in the future. And so you're stuck in this traumatized mode, and you're not able to get out. And because the amygdala takes over all other brain processes, it runs the show, that's why it's hard to rationalize and think your way out of panic. It's hard to rationalize where this original trauma came from, why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. Your system is just operating the way it has been doing for hundreds of thousands of years. That's what it's doing. And we can use this cortical brain to calm down that anxiety response. So you might be in PTSD, or you might walk into an environment where, well, it caused you negative pain before, negative emotion, and this unconscious system immediately reacts, and now you're in fight, flight, or freeze mode, and you're not understanding why. And really, depersonalization, it stems from past highly emotional memories, triggers, right? Situations that are not fully fleshed out in your mind, understood. And you can't fight this system. You can try, but it'll only make it worse, because the amygdala has activated your stress response. So how do you calm down your stress response? First, you can use your rational brain, like I keep saying, to calm down the amygdala. Think thoughts like, so what? Think thoughts of, if it kills me, let it kill me. And this is letting go. You're letting go of the rope that's attached to the brick wall. You keep tugging on it, but you're just burning up resources. You're draining your energy. Let go of the rope. Stop fighting your stress system. Let it run the show. It's a natural response. The solution is to let go. Stop caring. If it kills me, let it kill me. I've had clients come to me and say, Brad, my anxiety response was active when I was sitting in class or when I was driving my car, and I thought those thoughts you suggested, so what? If it kills me, let it kill me. And I kept saying that to myself, and then I noticed that I survived the experience, but also my anxiety wasn't as bad as it used to get. I just kind of let go of the wheel, not physically, obviously, if you're driving your car, but I let go of the wheel of my anxiety and my control, and I let it drive itself. And it was freeing. And I'm like, yes, it's freeing. That's what you have to do. You have to let go. And also, on the side, do things that calm down your sympathetic nervous system, your anxiety response. Take a hot bath. Stop watching Netflix and have a nice calming tea and light some incense. Do some breathing exercises. Go for a walk. Go out in nature. Sit in the grass. Take your shoes off. Feel the grass within your toes and in your hands. Play with your children rather than just sitting on your phone on social media. Coping strategies are temporary numbing agents, but you have to really spend time with yourself and face that pain, face the suffering, right? And also do things like think rational thoughts, letting go thoughts, accepting thoughts like, so what? If it kills me, let it. And then do things that calm your system down, that relaxes you, meditation and breathing and just being. And that's where I want to leave you on today's video. Leave your comments below if this video has helped you with your depersonalization, with your anxiety. And lastly, do not let anxiety define who you are. I will see you on the next video. Bye for now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell so that whenever a new video of mine appears, you will be one of the first to know. Namaste.